Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to one of my replays, and this is a slightly older one. This is from 9.3, and I've picked it out because it's an E100 game, and I wanted to talk about the E100 just a little bit. I have some issues with this tank, and most of the issues I have with this tank stem from the 15cm gun, so I tend to go back and forth between the 15cm and the 12.8, which is of course the same gun that you get on the mouse, and both the tier 9s as well. But sometimes I grit my teeth and I gird my loins and I say, right, I'm going to give the 15cm another go. And just very occasionally they result in good games, but very, very occasionally. This was one of them. But this gun irks me. Now, it's for a heavy tank gun, there's really nothing to touch it. It is more akin to something you would find on a tank destroyer in terms of the amount of damage it can do, and indeed it is a gun that you find on the tank destroyer line, but it has the lowest AP pen of all of the tier 10 heavies and it's not especially accurate. However, Wargaming have given it way more heat pen, so it's like the T54 for instance. It almost comes with an incentive to fire premium ammo, because the regular ammo is just so unreliable, and you couple that unreliability to the long reload, and it's often a frustrating experience for me, because I feel like if I'm having to resort to just spamming heat, and I have loaded up a heat shell just for the start of this match, I don't know what I'm going to meet, so one heat shell seems like not a bad idea, and then we'll play it from here after that. But if it's any tank, any gun where you have to feel like, you feel like you have to, put it the other way around, to just spam premium ammo in order to make the vehicle work. Generally speaking, I don't particularly like playing those, and there aren't that many vehicles like that, but there are a few. And this is definitely one of them in my opinion. So I've put that heat rounds through the Jagdpanzer E100, and yeah, that was never gonna, unless it went into his tracks or I hit his gun mantle or something, that was never going to not pen with the amount of penetration the heat shells on this gun have. And if there was more of a balance between the two, and this is again same for things like the T54, if there was not such a massive disparity between the premium ammo and the AP ammo, if the AP ammo was just a little bit better, then I would have no problems with it whatsoever. But it's the derpy nature of the gun coupled with the long reload that just kind of kills it for me, and keeps making me go back to the 12.8. And I have to say, actually, the 12.8, in addition to having better reload time, in addition to having better penetration and better accuracy, it also has a better reload than it does on the mouse. So it's actually got better DPM with that gun than the mouse. So it's got that going for it. But it does have overall less DPM than the 15cm. So this is why I keep trying to go back to the 15cm and then regretting my life decisions almost instantly. Anyway, I've been quite aggressive here, but I pulled back a bit when I saw that T62A was also looking around this side. I was a bit miffed that that shot into the E75's axle only tracked him, but on the other hand, at least it hit. This is a game where most, if not all, of my shells actually hit something, which is even more rare for an E70, not an E75, an E100. So it was a decent game on that score alone, but the fact that most of the shells that I do actually hit stuff with actually then also do damage is even better. Now, there are things I like about the E100. I like the extra mobility that you get. I like the fact that it still has pretty damn decent armour, although obviously the turret weak spot is reasonably big. Now, that was quite a lucky pen, I think. I got quite lucky there. In fact, I got doubly lucky because it was a high damage roll as well. That was 810, so yeah. But overall, it's like, I want to like this tank, and it was the same with the E75. I wanted to like the E75, and somehow it just didn't work for me. But at least with the E100, I know it's not the entire vehicle. It's just that 15cm gun that I have problems with, and there is an alternative. There is that 12.8 that I can switch to when the frustration with the 15cm goes too much. Now, this means also, just my experience with this gun at tier 10, that I'm kind of waiting with mixed feelings to see what the new tier 9 will be. Is it the Mauschen? I think it's the Mauschen. Because that is going to have the 15cm gun. And I'm not sure the 12.8 is even going to be an option on that. At least, from memory, you know, from what I've read, the 12.8 may not be an option on that. You may have to use the 15cm. And that's going to be interesting at tier 9, but the stats are going to be even worse than the E100 stats. So we'll see. That's why I'm waiting with mixed feelings for this particular, that replacement for the VKB. Anyway, this particular match, it wasn't that remarkable, other than it was remarkable for me because my gun actually behaved. I got 3 kills, 5.5, nearly 5.5k. Not quite as good score-wise as both Zircon and Foch, but we were, you know, top 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a nice podium finish for all of us. And the matchmaking meant that we could just roll in and take control of that flank quite easily. Although there were, I almost overextended, but I pulled back just in time. But anyway, 8 shots fired, 8 hits, 8 pens, but only 7 of them actually did damage. But even so, I rarely had a game as good as this in terms of actually hitting what I wanted to hit. And I even had quite a lucky hit on that 704 at the end there, because how I was aiming, it might well have just bounced off the front. And only one of those shots I fired was actually with heat. So it is doable, but generally speaking, my salt level just gets so high with the 15cm that playing with it well on a consistent basis, I just find it very, very difficult indeed. I invariably go back to the 12.8 just because I feel like the 12.8, although it doesn't have the fear factor of the 15cm, it is much better at actually hitting what I want it to hit. And at the end of the day, I'm just glad that there is that gun option on the E100, that I can at least get that much out of the E100, because there are plenty of tier 10s where there are no other gun options. It's just you get the gun that you get, and if you don't like it, then you're a bit stuffed. So I should be thankful for that at least. But like I said, I wait with bated breath to see what the same gun on the new tier 9 will be like when that eventually is introduced into the game. So, I'm aware this was quite a short video, really, but I didn't have a massive amount of time to sit down and record stuff today. And also, you get the added side benefit that shorter videos I can actually encode at a higher quality. So, I hope you do notice that. I hope YouTube doesn't just mangle it the same either way, but we'll see. So, if you enjoyed this, you can leave any comments below telling me how I'm crazy for not liking this thing. You can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.